Hey guys, Short Midget here. I am going to be doing a review shooting test on Chrono on this Elite Force MP5. So this is the competition model, so it's the cheaper model. I'm DSGing it. DSGing. That should be a word in the vocabulary, or dictionary. I already have a DSG gearbox and I'm going to pop right down in here. First of all, I'm going to take the trigger out of the MP5 that I have because it's like an MP5K trigger. It's disgusting. So I'm going to put this one in it. This is actually a plastic one, but it's so much thinner and it actually feels good. So I'm going to take it apart, my DSG gearbox, swap triggers with this one, and then I'm going to put an M4 trigger in this gearbox and put an M4 selector in this gearbox and make this basically an M4 gearbox because it's version 2, and just sell it or throw it in a friend's gun or something. I may upgrade it and just mess around with it. It is OEM by SRC, so there is an SRC stamp on the gearbox. So it is SRC. It's got a green piston, probably what is an M100 spring. The motor seems to be pretty weak. It comes with a 9.6 12,000 milliamp, which actually this gun out of the box is ready to go because it's got a fairly good battery. The charger's bad, but you could deal with it technically. So I'm pulling the battery out right now. There's a huge fuse in here. So we have a fuse, and then we have the 9.6 1600 here. This is fully charged. I was charging about an hour when I got it. I was dying, and I plugged it in. It only took an hour to charge, which is nice on the speed charger. It has a lot of extension cords, which is bad for resistance. So, I'll show you here if I can pop this pin out, which I can't. Okay, but there's basically Tamiya connector right here that connects to an extension, then there's a Tamiya right here. So a lot of resistance being lost, so I think that's why the rate of fire is pretty slow. Okay, so the battery compartment, I bought 11.1 already, 5,000 milliamp for the DSG. So I don't think it's going to fit in here, but I actually didn't think it would, but it actually looks like it's going to. But if it doesn't, I'll drill a hole in the top here, feed the Deans through, and zip tie it on my stock. It's a 5,000, 11.1, like 60 Cs, so it's going to be incredible. My contacts are stock in that gun with no MOSFET, because the MOSFET was giving me issues, so I took it out. It was like an active braking infected armory. It was junk. It was heating up like crazy. So those contacts are going to burn out pretty quick. So then I'll buy a nuke FET drop-in and throw it in there probably, or invest in a Chimera BTC. So basically all the outside of this gun is plastic, but let's start from the back and be all fancy and go to the front. So the back here, you have a full stock. It is polymer, and it's some texturized polymer. The rubber butt plate here is rubber. Not very soft rubber. It's kind of a plasticky rubber. It's a thin rubber sheath, I guess you could call it, on the back plastic part. Sling loop on this side. It's metal. Back pin here for the stock. Low receiver is plastic. It has fairly good construction. It's on par with the stock. It's nice plastic polymer. I thought this was going to be like ABS crap. It's not. From what I've seen in videos, people acted like it was, and it doesn't seem like it to me. Pistol grip and lower is obviously built in. It says H&K MP5 right here. And then on the other side you have licensed, trademarked of Heckler and Koch right there. And over here you have a serial number, and then here you have Cal 6mm, which sucks. I wish that was not there. And then also over here it's warning, not a toy, or a, what is it, not a toy. But it is a toy. But it's not a toy to shoot people in the face with. I wish that wasn't there. It looks almost molded in. Yeah, it's etched in. I can't take paint, although I think there's probably paint in it as well. I could probably take some alcohol and rub but it doesn't look like there's paint. It's just engraved in. Dang it. So the upper is plastic as well. The real one is metal, but to be honest, the seam lines are pretty bad, but it's actually a solid upper. Like, I can hold this. The only thing that moves around is the battery in there. It's a solid gun, but I think it's so solid because it's so light. There's no, super heaviness up here where it would just break the stock. So you have a magazine release right here. If you push it in too much, it clicks and gets stuck. I don't like that. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't know if it'll do that when there's a mag inserted. I don't think it will because the magazine is going to be in the way. So just so you know. There's a pin here, pin here, pin here. They're all metal. 3 pins. Magazine release is also here. It moves that on that side. This right here, I'm not exactly sure what this is for. I've always wondered, and I was told, but then I forget. I think it's a sling. I always thought it was a swing or sling loop, but it's not. I forget what it is though. I totally forget. Ah, dang it! Got that on my gun. Okay, so the handguard is plastic as well. It's pretty thick. Don't really care for the thickness. Charging handle here is plastic. Locks in the upper receiver. Bolt goes all the way back. You can see the black cylinder. And just to let you know, there's a lot of play between the cylinder and cylinder head and like gearbox shell. It just moves a lot. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. The gearbox seems greased up by just looking on the outside of it. The gun doesn't sound half bad, but it's just slow at cycle speed and full auto and semi. Sling loop in the front here. It's plastic, but it's rubberized. Maybe it is metal. Maybe it's metal, I don't know. This flash hider is ugly, but I'm not exactly sure how to get it off. Normally you push this tab down, but I couldn't do it. And I'll try it again, but I didn't really want to break it. I'll have to get something to move it down. But I want this off so I can paint it. And you're not supposed to look down your barrel of a gun, but I don't know if there's threads under there. I want to try to put a better flash hider because I don't like these big fat ones. But the barrel comes to the tip, which I actually don't really like because if you have to get a long flash hider, which isn't a big deal. I'll get one. But I don't like this on here, so I think I'm going to paint it and put it back on and then buy a different flash hider and use this one until I get a different one. The sights, it's adjustable. They're standard MP5 drum sights. It has a good bit of play in it, but it's not blowback or anything, so it shouldn't shimmy it around. Also, I thought this was electric blowback, but it's not unless when there's BBs in there it blows back. Like I said, the gearbox is SRC, so I've heard some people say it's really crappy. I don't know. I think it's a great gun for $155 on Airsoft Station with 2 plastic mid caps. Comes with a high cap. Got your 9.6. Only thing you'll need is goggles and a smart charger. Goggles, and then you can go out and play. Comes with 0.2 grain BBs as well by Elite Force. Elite Force, like 2,700. It's like a player package. I got that because I could use the BBs and the mags. So we're going to start off with the stock high cap. These are .2s. I haven't shot this yet, so let's see. Okay, so the BBs seem to be going off to the right. Yeah, they do. Yeah, pretty, they go off. I did notice when I took the gun apart, I looked at the hop-up, and it looked like the bucking was kind of scrunched a little. High cap doesn't seem to feed very well. Either that or it's the gun. Sounds like it shoots hard, though. I didn't wind the magazine a whole lot, but these MP5 mags are not easy to wind. I think that may be all the way up, Pop. Yeah, it was. So as far as range and accuracy, it's not too bad, but with that folded bucking, the BBs are not going straight. So I'll have to adjust that. Just up a tad. And that's actually good right there. What's that? Oh yeah, that's good. What the heck? Like trying to shake the mag and oh, it's empty. Alright, let's try the mid caps. I got, I think, Elite Force ones, and I think they're Simon. They're all plastic, but there's 2 different kinds. Went through the whole mag. That's kind of funny, because this thing takes like 8 seconds to get through a whole 90 round mag, whereas with the DSG is going to be like a second and a half. If it feeds. I hope it feeds. So we'll see with that. Alright, seems like it's shooting pretty good. Let's go ahead and test the Chrono. Let's shoot a few shots off of the mag first. Trigger break seems to be pretty good. Pull is really good. It's nice and short. I'm not going to answer that. 342, 350, 341, 345, 341, 342, 344. So right under 350, 345, 348, 345. So it should die down to about 340, 330. So you should be able to use it out of the box in CQB. But if you can't, take it apart and swap the spring, and I would upgrade it. I would put some 13-to-1 gears in here with a ZCI balance. To adjust the hop up. There, it's just shooting nice and accurate. BB's not going off to the side anymore. A little bit. So the stock is getting hot where the battery is. Oh, just a little bit, and the grip is as well. So I'm just going to end the rest of the mag. The FPS. Let's see the rate of fire. Almost 13 rounds a second. So, and it's still getting 340 FPS. So that's pretty good out of the box. This thing's actually got some recoil to it. This thing, I don't know if you notice it, but it's actually getting some recoil. So I'm sorry I didn't get any footage of the BBs, but you could probably hear the shots. Trigger pull's nice. It's actually fairly loud, so it sounds like the gearbox could crack, just the way it sounds. So I'm going to replace some parts inside of this and see how, I'm going to go put the DSG gearbox tonight. I'm going to do that. And I also got to fix my AEG M4 at the same tonight. So this old gearbox I will build. I'll probably do some teching videos on it, showing you how to do AOE and Sorbo, because I'm sure there's no Sorbo in here, so I can do that just to show you. So if you have any questions, just comment below, and stay tuned for the DSG. I will make a video on that. I'll shoot it and just tell you about the internals on that, my custom built DSG MP5 or something like that. And then I'll probably make a really short video where I just don't even talk and just dry fire it, just for those people that don't want to sit through me talking about it. So, and they just want to see how it shoots. So if you have any questions, comment below. I have about 2 hours of work ahead of me. Yeah, I've got to take this gearbox apart, take this trigger, take my DSG gearbox apart, take this trigger and put it in there, and put that together and put it in here, and then take that M4 trigger and put it in here, in this gearbox, but I won't put it back together. I'll probably make some teching videos on it. But, yep, if you have any questions, just ask. Recommend the gun, so that's it. See you guys later.